everyone, welcome to my channel, Bianca Skogan Beauty. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Today is April 30th, the last day of April. I thought it would be a good day to film my April palette ranking video. I have on the last palette that I'm wearing for April. I have all of the palettes that I used for April and I have ranked them. Obviously. I think it's fun to talk about the palettes that I've used during, I guess, the year, during the month, and then like show you guys the actual pictures of, like show you the palettes, but then show you the pictures of the looks, and then like discuss it. I thought it would be a good idea to discuss how I rank these palettes. I rank them based on a couple of things. A lot of it is the look I get. Like, did I end up liking the look? Did I want to like go outside and like paint the town red in that look because I just thought I was feeling myself in that look? You know what I mean? Was the palette inspiring? Was I really excited to use the look? Whether or not the look turned out good or not, but like, was the palette exciting? Like, how did the palette perform? Did the mattes blend well? Did the shimmers show up well? Like, did the shimmers flake all over my face? Like, there's a lot of caveats to this ranking. It probably shouldn't be all of those things because like how the actual eye look came out is a little bit of a skill issue. But you know what? It's my ranking and I feel like that really does make a difference. And that to me actually is one of the biggest factors in this ranking is how the look came out. Like, was this my favorite look? And if the palette was like excellent, if I hated the look, it kind of goes down a little bit. I really do love that we all have different likes and loves of palettes. You know what I mean? Like, if we all liked the exact same thing, then there would only be like 10 palettes sold around the world. So it's good that we all have different likes and wants and loves. So yay. This month, April 2026, I used 18 palettes, which is the most I have used in 2026 for a month. And I know why. It's because this month is the month that I use my like pastel spring palettes. I really love holidays and seasons. And so having a season or a holiday to look forward to really helps me do my makeup is based on those holidays and those seasons because I like to gear my makeup towards those seasons as well because I look forward to them. So why not gear my makeup towards them? You will see my April palettes are very spring toned and very pastel toned. And I do have quite a bit of like, as my collection has grown, I have gotten more pastel spring palettes. And since this is the only month that I use spring and pastels, I kind of wanted to use a lot of them. So as I said, I used 18 palettes, but I actually technically only did 17 looks. So we're only gonna have 17 looks that I put up here. Yay. So last on the list, number 18. And I always feel bad ranking palettes last because I just feel bad. It's not like the palettes have feelings, but I know there are brands behind the palettes. Not that they're probably watching this video, but I have done many declutters and these palettes have not been decluttered. So they may be last on this list, but they're not last in my heart. Does that make sense? Okay, number 18 is Return to the Sea. Yes, my last palette on here is a mermaid palette, which you might be like, what? You think you are a mermaid. You love mermaids. How is the last palette a mermaid palette? Okay, well, here's the look. This palette, Return to the Sea by Klarity Kosmetics. Let's show you the inside. It is a mermaid palette, but I feel like it's very pastel. So I wanted to use it during this spring season. I do kind of save my mermaid palettes for summertime. You know what? This is pastel. We're gonna use this during springtime, right? It actually ended up being a very, very, very beautiful look in person. But in the pictures, I don't know. And I was talking to my husband about this and I was like, the pictures were terrible. And he's like, no, they weren't. And I was like, yes, they were. I don't know. I know that I'm not like a professional photographer by any means or a professional makeup artist by any means, but I did actually take quite a few photography classes and like I took one in junior high, one in high school, one in college, and then I took one as an adult as well. So I have taken quite a few photography classes. So I know I should know a thing or two. Anyways, I'm not a professional photographer. I don't know. I couldn't get the pictures. The look was beautiful, but the pictures were crappy. I don't know. That look I fixed like 6 times. I was like, okay, well, add a little bit more shimmer up here, add a little more shimmer down here. Like it just, which is interesting because Klarity Cosmetics, you guys probably, if you know anything about Klarity Cosmetics, you're probably like, oh, it's at the bottom because Klarity Cosmetics, like their formula always breaks. Look at this palette. It's in perfect condition. It hasn't broken. That wasn't the problem. It was me. This one was me. I just couldn't get it to look right. I didn't like it. I was excited to take it off. Sorry, I feel like I give a lot of explanation for the ones at the bottom because I feel bad. Number 17. So this is, we have 16, 17 and 16 because this is one of the ones that I did double palette for the one look. This palette combination is the one that I used for my spring palette. I was talking about my spring palettes. If you want to go watch that video, I'll put it up here. I did a monochromatic purple look for that tutorial. These both were in my spring palettes. And this is the Sinful Echoes Lotus Bloom. And this is from Touch of Glam Beauty. And it is a just random like 12 pack of like mystery shades that I got during Black Friday. And I thought that they were very like spring colors. I do like both of these palettes. I'm wondering if I should continue doing the monochromatic looks. That one actually was better than, like I did a pink one in February and I did a green one in March and then I did the purple one in May. Or wait, I did the purple one in April and I did like the purple one better than the March and February. I don't know. The monochromatic looks are not my favorite. I'm experimenting with it and I've never really done monochromatic looks before. So I am still kind of having fun with it, but I have to admit they're not my favorite looks. So it does kind of give these a bad rap. Like these probably would have gotten me a better look if I didn't go monochromatic. Sinful Echoes is a brand that I just got like last year and it's an indie brand. And I would have to say that the shimmers are a little bit flaky, which is not my favorite kind of shimmer. I like more of a smooth shimmer. So, it so far is not like my favorite indie brand. Maybe they're still working on the shimmers. Maybe this is their final shimmer formula, but I wouldn't say that like, even if I did whatever look I wanted, I don't know if this would have been my top one because the shimmers are just kind of flaky and dry. And it might be your favorite formula, but it's not my favorite formula. I feel like that when they're dry and flaky, they fall on my face, even with a primer. And this one, it was good. But it's an all shimmer palette. You can't make a whole look. For me, I can't make a whole look with a all shimmer palette. So I feel like it's fair to put it at 17 and 16 because the look came out pretty good for a monochromatic look. And it was my favorite out of the monochromatic looks I've done so far, but these other looks were better. Let's move on to number 15. We have from Ensley Rain Cosmetics. This is the Glow palette. And normally, I'm a really big fan of Ensley Rain. Their shimmers, like I was just talking about, the shimmers in this Sinful Echoes, they're very dry. Ensley Rain has really good shimmers. Their shimmers are really emollient. And so I was really excited and really happy to use this palette. I kind of saved it till the end. Here's the look. I saved it till the end to use it because I was really looking forward to using it. I used some of my favorite palettes at the beginning and then I used some of my favorite palettes at the end because I was trying to like spread it out. It was another situation like the mermaid one, where like the Return to the Sea one there, that it was so much prettier in person than it was in pictures. Like if you see this look today that I have on, it is gorgeous. It is like you can see the multi-chrome in person and in pictures. And I feel like maybe it's because it's just a really strong multi-chrome, but I just feel like that says something. I actually pulled out a fake eyelash to go with this picture because like it was just not giving. Like I wasn't liking the look. And I also didn't like, I have such a hard time with fake eyelashes. They're hard for me to wear. And those were half lashes. Well, I'm not really good at lashes, so maybe I'll wear a half lash. But I think half lashes might be harder because I don't know where to put them. Do you put them on your actual eyelash? Like the eyelash, or do you put them on your eyelid? I need to watch more tutorials. I guess I got kind of sick of pastels. Like there's only so many colors. Like there's purple pastel, pink pastel, yellow pastel, like orange pastel, and blue pastel. And That's like the whole thing. That's the gambit. And did I say green pastel? Maybe there too. That's all you got. I was using a lot of like, I guess doing like sunset looks where it was like purple to orange to yellow, or like purple to pink to orange, or like just kind of a sunset variation, and which is beautiful, which I really love. So I was trying to not use as many of those purples and blues, and like I was trying to mix it up. So I went with like this side of the palette. So I wasn't, even though this side would have been beautiful, I just felt like it was just kind of meh. Like Ensley Rain is usually not meh. I don't know. It just didn't turn out in the picture. Okay, number 14. All right, we have the other Sinful Echoes palette. So I used 2 this month. They're not like my least favorite indie brand, but they're not at the top. I do love how like creative they are with their packaging. I do like that. This is Sinful Echoes Alchemist Apothecary, which these are like Halloween palettes. There's 3 of them and I have all 3. During Halloween time, I kind of theme my Halloween decorations towards kind of like Apothecary. I have like more of the Apothecary bottles, and it's kind of witchy Apothecary. That's kind of how I theme my house. So I do love that it's called the Alchemist Apothecary. I don't feel like, I guess they are kind of Halloween colors because you have the purple and the green, but I felt like these were kind of spring, so I used them for spring. I did like the look. The shimmers were not as outstanding as I wanted them to be. Whenever a look isn't as special as I want it to be, I either add like jewels, like, or gems or pearls, or a lash. And so on this one, I used a white mascara. Where is it? Here it is. From Urban Decay. I have this white mascara, and I pulled it out for the springtime because I was like, hey, I've been using like a white liner because I feel like it's springtime. Let's kind of have like a white and bright and white and pastel, and you know what I mean? So this is in the shade Bleach Platinum. So I pulled out this mascara because I was like, this is the time, right? And so I think it was a cool look. I think it was creative. I don't think it was necessarily pretty. So it's down here. It's number 14 because it ended up being really creative. I did end up liking like the colors, but the shimmer, I don't really like the shimmer formula from Sinful Echoes. We have number 13 and number 12, which some of these I realize that by the time you see this video, I haven't posted them on Instagram yet, which by the way, if you want to see all of these looks, I post every single one of my looks on Instagram. It's how I feel better about doing my makeup every day, or every other day really, because I work from home. Doing a full beat of makeup to just sit at home and work makes me feel like I'm wasting that makeup. Although I'm like, you're not wasting it, you have it, and it makes you happy to use it. So I have my Instagram, and if you guys want to follow me, I think that it's a fun place to be because I post all of my creative, beautiful, some of them not both, as I just said, looks on my Instagram. It's also Bianca Skogan Beauty. So go follow me there and you can see my looks. These I don't know if will be posted yet. This is number, what did I say? 13 and 12. So here is another instance where I used 2 palettes to do 1 look. I have been actually having a really fun time making reels where I'm comparing and contrasting palettes. So I've been finding palettes in my collection that are very similar. And I'm not like buying any more palettes. These are palettes I already own because this year, 2026, originally I was on a no buy. Now it's turned into a low buy, which is fine. I'm still buying less. And I'm found palettes in my collection that I think are really similar. And I'm comparing and contrasting them because originally it started like around Christmas time. Somebody mentioned to me, and they were like, one of my beautiful subscribers mentioned and was like, hey, Odin's Eye Christmas Eve palette and one of the Day Signature palettes are really similar, and I didn't see it. And so I compared it and contrasted it. Like, let's keep doing this. This is so much fun. So I did it again with these 2 palettes. This is the Glaminatrix Pretty in Pastels palette. And look at that. So it has dark colors, and then it has a gradient of like pastels, and then we have shimmers. And we have a darker pastel to a lighter pastel. And this one broke a long time ago. I don't even know. But it would have been, you know, like a light blue, right? So I feel like it's really similar to this Blend Bunny one, Sickly Sweet, because this one's not in the same gradient order, which is interesting because Blend Bunny is like known to do that. But I believe they wanted to make this one look like a candy bowl. And this is an older one, but nowadays you can, they're magnetic. And so you can actually, you could put it in a gradient order, which I wish I had the magnetic one because I would love to do that. This one has, I feel like, similar because we have those dark colors and then we have like a little bit of like a little bit darker, like a darker blue, and then we have a lighter blue, and we have like a darker green, and we have a lighter green. I feel like it's similar. And then we have some shimmers in there. So let me show you both of them. If this were in gradient order, they would be a lot more apparent. But I did that in the short, which probably hasn't posted yet, and you'll get to see it when I post it. But they're very similar. Here's the look. Do I remember which palette is on which eye? No. When I get that short posted, I'll mention which palette is on which eye. This is 13 and 12. I do need to have a favorite because have one be 13, one is 12. And I'm gonna say this one is 13. This one is just barely not as good. I just like the shimmers in Glaminatrix better. They're just a little bit more emollient. They're a little bit like brighter of shimmers. Glam Bunny has really good mattes, but I felt like the mattes in that Glaminatrix one were really good too. I feel like the mattes on this one kind of fade away. And that's kind of what pastels do. Pastels, they're light in color, and so you put them on and they kind of blend away. I don't like it when pastels do that, and that's kind of what this one does. I got my finger stuck. How did I do that? Okay, so then this one is 12 because I just felt like the shimmers were a little bit better, and I felt like the mattes were just a little bit better. Just a little bit. Okay, number 11, we have from Bellabeautébar. This is the Pastel Garden palette, and here is my look. I believe they have a new version of this, so mine is old. It might be magnetic now, I'm not sure. I can kind of tell that this one's old. Bellabeautébar has really good shimmers and good mattes. Like, I think Bellabeautébar is probably my favorite indie brand out of all indie brands. Out of all eyeshadow palettes ever, eyeshadow palette brands, indie brands, everything Bellabeautébar wins. But that's with their new formula. And they have evolved. And this is kind of their older formula. And it's still good, but it's not as good as newer ones. There is a newer one in this pile, and it's much better. So I'm not going to, if there is a newer one, I'm not going to purchase it because this was expensive. It's kind of annoying. Like, I kind of wish that like they would do something like, hey, you purchased the old one, you can get like the new one half off or something. Because I don't want to purchase the new one for full price because I bought this one for full price. Do you know what I mean? I think that's lame. Is this the first one that I have a affiliate? No, it is not. I didn't mention it, but I do have affiliate codes for some of these. And Ensley Rain, I have an affiliate code, Bianca. I'll put it on the screen when we were in the past. I will put it on the screen. And for Bellabeautébar, I also have an affiliate code, Bianca. And I also will put that on the screen. Their new palettes are really good. I know I'm not really talking great about this one, but they're new ones. I was saying it. Amazing. I did get a look that I really liked, and I was trying to step outside of like my comfort zone a little bit because I felt like a lot of times I do purple to green. Like, because I feel like purple is a little bit darker than, I mean, I guess you can get a dark purple and you can get a dark green. I just kind of go purple to blue to green usually. And so I was trying to like flip it, and sometimes come up with like interesting looks. I will try to kind of flip things. Like, I will try to do complementary colors, or I'll try to do the inverse of that, contrasting colors. Thank you, Bianca. And so green and purple are pretty contrasting. They're not exactly, but I don't want to do what I always do. And so I tried to do something different. So I put green on the outside and purple on the inside. And it was okay. It worked. You could tell that Bellabeautébar's shimmers have come a long way, because I feel like if that purpley pink that I used, if it was a nowadays purpley pink, it would have been better formula. Like, it kind of made my eyelid look a little bit wrinkly. I am 40, but I don't feel like my eyelids are that wrinkly yet. So I feel like it wasn't the best formula. It is here because look at all these colors. Look at this pastel palette. Amazing. But not, like, it does still rank above the Glam Bunny one. The formula has gotten better, let's just say. Now, number 10, I have lauded as my favorite pastel palette of all time, ever. And I still agree with that. I still say this is my favorite pastel palette of all time. This is the Give Me Glow Pastel Dreams palette. And it's still my favorite pastel palette. But I guess why it's only at number 10 out of 18 is because this was the look I did yesterday. So I was just getting tired of doing pastel looks and I was trying to do something new. I had done like the same looks, I felt like every day for the whole, like I had done so many purple and green looks, so many blue and purple and green looks, and just so many of like the same kind of like, how many times can you mix pastels? So I was like, okay, we need to do another contrasting look. So I was like purple and yellow contrast. Okay. All right. Well, how do we make this different? How do we make it so that I'm not bored? Because I've been doing the same looks for the whole month. And so I was like, let's flip it. So we're doing contrasting colors and then let's actually do like inverse. So normally I do dark on the outer corner. Like here, I did dark on the outer corner, light in the inner corner. I was like, let's flip it. So I did light, I did yellow to purple. I think it was fun. Especially like when I put the yellow there, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I needed. I was so excited when I did the yellow. And so maybe I should have just done yellow because I think maybe that would have been it. Cause like I was so excited when I put that yellow there. I don't know what it was because it just went downhill from there. The yellow was amazing. The purple was actually pretty good. I put green on the bottom and that was horrible. Cause then I tried to get the green off. I didn't like the green. And like, I think I hurt my eye cause I tried to get the green off. And so then, I don't know. And so I kept covering it up with something and I just kept trying to rework the look. And like, I just was never satisfied with the bottom lash, like how the bottom was. And so as you can see, I added gems because I just wasn't satisfied with where it was going. It ended up being a pretty look. And I did like what I did with the inverse and then the reverse. Like I did in converse colors. So I did purple and yellow. And then I did the reverse of what I normally did. So I did something different than normal. And then with the eyeliner, I did, it was a purple eyeliner, but it ended up kind of gray. Because I know why it ended up gray, because it was a contrasting, the purple on top of yellow made it kind of go neutral and it turned gray. But anyways, it was a lavender eyeliner and then I did a yellow eyeliner in the front. So I wanted to then I tried to, go the opposite. I was trying to be creative and I think it worked. It just, when things, you have it in your head and you want it to go one way and it kind of doesn't go that way, it kind of went the way that I wanted it to go in my head, but not 100%. It went like 70%. It's number 10. And I think it's number 10 because this is my favorite pastel palette. The look frustrated me, so it ends up at number 10. Number 9, this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Oh my gosh, it matches my sweater perfectly. Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. This is an oldie. I feel like nobody talks about this palette. And I did a look with this palette from Angela Bright 3 years ago. And I remembered it and I was like, oh my gosh, let me put up the look that Angela Bright did. And actually, it was really hard to find this look. I had to go to her YouTube and because she did post it on YouTube, that's how I found it originally 3 years ago. So I did a screenshot of her look from YouTube. So this is her look this is a screenshot of her thumbnail. Anyways, that's the best I could do. All right, now here's my look, my interpretation. So I did this look 3 years ago, loved it. I should do that look again because I have used this palette since that 3 years. But I went with I think I went with the reds or I went with the greens and I was like, I didn't love it as much. I didn't use that purple again. And so, cause I remember I was like, oh, I've already used the purple, right? And so I was like, I got to do it again. I loved that look so much. And I think it's because I don't a lot of the time use pastels unless it's April. I loved that look. I feel like normally when I pick up this palette, I would like put a dark in the outer corner and like a light in the inner corner. And so she just used it so much differently than I would have. And it turned out so pretty. Like she used this color, which is kind of green, but kind of like silver, which I don't think I would have paired with this purple. And it just turned out so nice. So it is number 9 because I ended up, loving that look. It's such a good look. But as you can see, this is not an indie brand. So indie palettes are just more special to me. Mainstream palettes they're beautiful. And having a mainstream brand actually put out palettes is amazing. Anastasia Beverly Hills is not really even putting out palettes anymore, or at least these big ones. I think she puts out like the little 9-pan ones. I do love these palettes, but they're not as good as indie palettes. They don't have the special shimmers. They don't have this going on. Do you know what I mean? Let's get to number 8. Another Blend Bunny palette, which you might be like, what? Your actual pastel palette didn't rank as high as this primal palette? I don't know. I liked this look. Some of these looks I did like at the beginning of the month, and I was just like happier with pastels. Like this was like the 3rd look I did in the month, so I was a lot happier with pastels. And so this is one of the ones that I did kind of that, it's not a sunset, it's more of a sunrise, I would say, because it's like the pastels. Anyways, there's a lot of nonsense that goes into this ranking. So I used, obviously, these pastels. And it was interesting because here we have this green. I guess on here, it doesn't even really show up green. In real life, it shows up more green. But it really, I tried to put that in the look, and it was yellow. So I'm kind of like, huh. I wonder why they didn't put more green pigment in this one, because it looks exactly the same. On the eye, these two look exactly the same. So either they shouldn't have had both of them in the palette, or they should have added more green to this one, because I was disappointed that this one didn't have more chartreuse, didn't have more green to it. I got a beautiful look, but it's not like ranked at the top because, as you saw, I put in some pearls because it needed a little extra. It needed a little oomph. I believe we are in 7. We have from Shroud Cosmetics, this is the Peaches and Dreams palette. Okay, can you still buy this palette? Maybe. Shroud Cosmetics is, I don't know, they kind of went MIA for a while, came back, and were like, hey, you can still buy from us. So I bought this when they came back. I don't know. I got it. It's a pretty palette. It's interesting because I do think this is a very spring palette, like, but it's not pastel. It's not. So when I guess I was anticipating more pastel, I did end up really liking the look I came up with, which is here. And I was trying to be more different. And so I went with a halo look, which I don't do very often. And so I think it came out really pretty. It reminded me of like a spectrum. Like it was just kind of like, you know what I mean? Anyways, it was really pretty. I really liked it. I ended up liking, I used this shimmer here and a little bit of the orange in the middle, because this one is like the softest, most emollient shimmer. These ones are a little bit flaky, which are not my favorite. I love a soft emollient shimmer, but this one didn't, like when you have that shimmer in the middle for a halo eye, it needs to be bright. And this one wasn't as bright. So I did put a little of the orange in the middle, which orange on top of green was a choice, but it made it pop a little bit more. So it did turn out really well. I think that I liked on this one what I did. Like actually, a lot of the time I'm like the ones at the bottom are at the bottom because like I failed. I didn't like the look I did. This one is ranking higher because I like what I did. I liked the look I did. Whereas this one, the palette really, it was okay. Like some of the shimmers weren't as good as I wanted them to be. Where are we now? Number 6. This is from Simply Posh Cosmetics. This is the Fairy Tale Fairies. This was the very first palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics I ever purchased, and started my love of Simply Posh Cosmetics. I really love Simply Posh. Beautiful, beautiful. This is so spring and pastel, and I came up with a beautiful look. I did kind of feel like it was like similar to other looks that I had already done, which it actually really wasn't. I went back and looked at my looks and I was like, no, it really isn't that similar, but it felt like it was. It just felt reminiscent of like all of the looks that I did, even though it really wasn't. I love Simply Posh's shimmers. They're so emollient. And so beautiful. It was a beautiful look. Beautiful. Okay, we are in top 5, but I forgot to mention something about this. So what is fun about this, about Simply Posh, is that this is my oldest Simply Posh palette. I don't feel like the formula is worse. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. Well, it is a good thing, but like, it means that for like Bellabeautébar, it's good that their formula has like gotten better, but it stinks when I have ones that are worse formula. Whereas Simply Posh, their formula has just always been good. It's nice that they have always had a good formula, in my opinion. Okay, now we're at top 5. Can you tell? It's just looks like a brown palette. It is the Glaminatrix Sugar and Spice. This was my very first look that I did in April, and I loved it. It was great. It is top 5. because I did love this look. I think I was really creative with it. Glaminatrix is like top 3 favorite indie brands for me because their shimmers are so good. For shimmers, we have, for me, top 3, Glaminatrix, or not, I think number 1 is Bellabeautébar, Ensley Rain, and Glaminatrix. They have the best shimmers. Then maybe number 4 is Simply Posh. Anyways, doesn't matter. These shimmers. This is an older palette, and the shimmers are still amazing. But, caveat, this is number 5. The mattes on this were weird. I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but I was putting the purple in the outer corner, and it did this weird like outline. It like had the outline of the purple. It almost like I looked like I did a purple eyeliner because it like was like patchy. It was like an outline of purple, darker purple, and then it like patched out to like lighter purple, and then it was darker purple again. And I was like, what are you doing? And I kept trying to fill it in, and it wouldn't fill in. And I was like, what is happening? Has the formula of Glaminatrix gotten better? Yes, it has. Yes, it has. This still has a really good shimmer formula. I'm still obsessed with these shimmers. And if you see the look, I still really love that look. And the shimmer that I had on the lid, I think I used quite a few shimmers because I think I used this Star Anise. And then I think I also used this lavender here. And then I also think I used some of the vanilla as well. So that was the first look I did. So can I remember 100%? No, but I used a lot of shimmers, and those shimmers were so good. Like with Bellabeautébar, the shimmer formula has gotten a lot better. But with Glaminatrix, they always had a good shimmer formula. Their matte formula has gotten better. Number 4. This is from Nomad. This palette I got in PR from Nomad this month in April. As you can see, it is not number 1. So I think that I'm pretty fair with Nomad. I do think I am kind of a positive person. So I think that I do rank this positively, but I think I'm also fair. I have almost every Nomad palette because I just bought them because I liked them as a brand. I like that they give back. They always donate to a cause. I like that they go around the world because that's what I would like to do. I like that they have colorful, creative palettes. So, I mean, they're all things that I really like. And they do a lot of like holidays and seasonal palettes, which as you can see, I like. Anyway, so this is the Greek Odyssey palette. I talked about in that video that I took a Greek and Roman mythology class at college, which was a really hard class. I thought it would be kind of a throwaway class. It was not. Oh my gosh, I had to write so many papers. I love Greek and Roman mythology. It's so much fun. This palette though, it is a toughie. This palette is half blue, and blue is not one of my favorite colors to wear. Am I kind of wearing it today? A little bit. But when I wear blue, I have to mix it with another color. It's kind of like green. Green is not one of my favorites either. I have to mix it with another color. So when I wear blue, I mix it with green. When I wear blue, I have to mix it with pink. I have to mix it with another color to make it work. I did do a blue look, as you'll see. Here's my blue look. And I mixed it with green, teal. And I ended up really loving it. These blues are really pigmented. There's a lot of pickup in the pan, which makes it so that they blend really well. I just feel like this palette, not for beginners, like it's pretty pigmented. It's got some stunning, bold colors, like bold, bright blues, like not a lot of neutrals. Do you know what I mean? We do have like one maybe row of neutrals. And so if you like cool tones, okay. These are really pretty shimmers. And I did one of the most stunning looks I've done in a while. I think that's probably why this ranked as number 4. I really loved that I got this golden goddess look, and here it is. And it was my husband's idea. I loved that because I was looking at this palette and I was trying to come up with ideas because I got it in PR. So I want to be like creative, and I want to use as many of the colors as I can. And I want to try to not do what everybody else does. And even though I did, everybody else did a blue look, which obviously this is a blue palette. It's a Greek palette, you know, Greece is like blue and white. So obviously I did that, but I wanted to do something that nobody else did. And my husband goes, why don't you do a golden goddess look? And I was like, why are you the smartest man alive? And so I did. And I did these neutrals in the outer corner, and then I did the gold and the silver, and I think it turned out so good. I still want to do another look with this because I didn't use all of the shades, and I feel like Nomad doesn't do purple very often. This Hades shade is a little bit purple. And so I wanted to go with the Hades and the Aphrodite and a little bit of this Calypso and maybe get a purple look. But I haven't done it yet, but I will. I loved my Golden Goddess look because I don't feel like anybody else did that. And a lot of the time I have said that when I put like those gems or extra things, it's because I don't like the look. That was not the case with this one. This one, I was just trying to make it more goddess-like. And so I added the gold to be more of a goddess look. So, oh my gosh, I feel like I ate with this look. I just loved this look. And I took it off so I could do the blue look. And I was so sad to take it off. But I think this is a complicated palette because it's so creative, which doesn't make it really good for beginners in my opinion. But it made me step outside my comfort zone and it made me get that beautiful blue and like teal ocean look. And then it also made me get that beautiful golden goddess look. So I really did love this palette, but it did make me have to like think to come up with looks. Number 3, we are on the top 3. This is the Poppy Storm palette from Titanium Foxes. Here's the look. I love Titanium Foxes. And I got an email yesterday saying that they were doing a sale for some French holiday because they're a French company. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm on a low buy. We could look into this because Titanium Foxes, ever since like tariffs went in, they have not been sending to the USA. I just didn't get it, which is fine. It's fine. But Poppy Storm, I bought this a long time ago. And this is my favorite Titanium Foxes palette. I just really like these colors right here. Let's talk about these shades. Yup. This is the one I used in the inner corner, as you can tell. When it has one of these shades, and this shade right here is like the one I have here, when it has like these kinds of shades that are just glowy, I get like speechless. You just saw me, I went, so good. Titanium Foxes is a great indie brand. And I'm so sad they don't ship to United States right now. Not forever, hopefully, but right now. Great brand, amazing look. This is top 3. I love the brand, I love the palette, I love this palette, I loved the look. So it's top 3. But these other 2 looks were a little bit better. As you can see, I haven't talked about this look yet. Number 2, this is the Adept Emo palette. Story time. I was kind of a punk kid when I was in high school, or I was trying to be, because the boy I had a crush on was a punk kid, and so I was trying to be punk for him. He ended up telling me, because I liked a lot of like the punk bands, and I was wearing this shirt that had like, I always had all these punk band shirts. And I remember he goes, "I wish you were my mom." And I was like, that was super fun. Emo came out after punk. And I did kind of get into emo, but emo was a little bit too much screamo for me. I didn't like the screaming as much. And my son, he turned 16 really soon. And he has been getting into the like nostalgia, I guess, like, and he's getting into like skating and emo and stuff like that. And so I showed him this palette and I was like, look, it's the emo palette. He's like, that's not emo. I don't know. What's emo? Like, this is the emo palette. Does it represent like the emo scene? I don't know. I was more punk than emo though. So I did a fun look with this though. This was my second look in April. And I was trying to be creative. I was trying to do more of like a grungy pastel because I knew that I was gonna get sick of pastels. So I wanted to kind of mix it up and do some like grungy kind of spooky pastels. And so that's what I did. I kind of used this dark, plus it was called the emo palette. So I kind of wanted to do like grungy emo pastel, right? This is the one. This is the coral shade right here. It's called Backdraft. I used this one like in the middle. Oh my gosh, it ended up being such a beautiful look. I loved, and it glowed. And when a palette and a look looks good in person and in pictures, that's a really good palette. And it did. It glowed in person and it glowed in pictures. I really do like Adept. I feel like their formula has also gotten better. Their shimmers at the beginning, like the very first palette I had, they used to crinkle, I guess. Like, I don't really have oily eyelids, but they would get kind of oily and they would kind of like separate. That's the word, separate. And so I feel like their shimmer formula has gotten better. So yay. Last but not least, it's this palette that I'm wearing right now. Technically, I did kind of waffle between these 2. So this palette that I'm wearing right now is the Crystallized palette by Bellabeautébar. But both of these looks were stunning. And so I at first put this as number 1, and then I was like, no, this is number 1. And then I was like, these both could be number 1. They were both really good. I guess I'm a little bit biased because I'm wearing this one right now. And so maybe that's why it's number 1 right now, because I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. I did buy this one this year. I didn't buy it because I was on a no buy. My husband got me this for Valentine's Day. And I have already done 2 looks with this palette. And the first look, I went kind of purpley with those purples. And so this, and the pink, this time I went with these. So I'm wearing this and this and this and this and this. Look, I actually don't have to make room because I'm not going to put up pictures because you can see it. You can see it. I didn't even use an eyeliner today because I just wanted this palette to stand on its own because it is so pretty. And I did take pictures and I feel like the pictures stood on their own. This look shine in person, in the pictures. It's just beautiful. And I was looking forward to this look. Like once I used the purple shades, I was really looking forward to using this shade when I did the purple look. And then I swatched this shade. I think it looks similar to that one. Kind of, but better. So that one was from Titanium Foxes. This is the Bellabeautébar one. When I swatched it, I was like, so stunning. Look at it. Oh my gosh. They're both beautiful, but this one is brighter. I have to use this palette again. I have to. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. Magnificent. Number one. Number one for April. I think that all of these palettes are stunning. As much as I get bored of doing pastels, I do actually love to do one theme during the month. And I love these palettes. And I especially like the top 10. Am I right? Am I right? Do you have any of these palettes? Would you rank any of them differently? Are there any pastel palettes that I should add to my collection? Don't tell me that. I don't need to add anything to my collection. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. I know I'm a talker. So if you did get to the end of this video, which you did because you're here, why don't you put in an emoji for a crystal? Because my number one palette is a crystal, crystallized. Let's do a crystal emoji to let me know you got to the end. Because if you watch till the end of my video, you're showing the algorithm that I have something important to say. And so if you put that emoji, it lets me know you watched till the end and you showed the algorithm what's what. So I can thank you personally for showing the algorithm. So thank you so much. And if you like this video, if you want to see more from me, why don't you subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my Instagram. It's also Bianca's Koken Beauty. And if you want to be notified of my videos, push the bell. And most importantly, be nice to yourself because you're amazing. Have a great day. Bye.